If you want to feel more calm, confident, and connected in your life, the Love Your Real Life membership is for you. Members love the simple daily challenges that help create small, consistent actions that lead to the change that they want. And then the live sessions that are throughout the month that leave them feeling grounded, relaxed, and supported. There's a link in the show notes to join. I would love to see you inside of this membership. Welcome to the Love Your Real Life podcast. I'm Faith Lauterbach, and this is a space to help you heal, rebuild, and create a life you truly love, even if it looks different than you imagined. Each week, I'll be sharing tools, encouragement, and real conversations about what it means to move forward after betrayal, heartbreak, or simply life not going as planned. I am honored to walk alongside you and help you love your real life. Well, hello, and welcome back to the show. Before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to introduce you to our guest, Sara Baldonado. She's a mom of 4 boys, an entrepreneur, and a co-owner of a really cool place called My Wellness Center. She has locations locally in both Lincoln and Kearney, Nebraska. But even if you don't live nearby, you will want to hear this episode. She has a passion for health and healing that was born out of some really challenging times, where she was felt called to create a place where people could support their health in a very different way. A place where they could simply slow down, rest, recharge, and give their bodies the opportunity to heal. That vision became My Wellness Center, and we'll talk about all the details that you'll want to hear in this episode. One of the things I appreciated most about this conversation is that we didn't just talk about the services that they offer. We talked about something I think all of us need more of: creating space for restoring ourselves in a world that is constantly asking us to do more. So today she's going to share the story behind My Wellness, why holistic wellness has become such an important part of her family's journey, and how simple, intentional lifestyle choices can have lasting impact on our health, our well-being, and our life. So whether you're curious about holistic wellness, looking for new ways to support your health and your life, or just need a reminder that you are worth taking care of, and it's not something we have to earn, I think you're going to really love this conversation. So let's dive into my interview with Sara. Welcome. I'm so happy that you are joining us today. I'm really excited about sharing what you have to say with my listeners.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. All right, so let's just start with just telling us a little bit about yourself and what led to create My Wellness.
Well, to start with, I am a mom to 4 boys, so life is insanely crazy. They range in age from 10 to 17, but I'm also a co-owner to My Wellness Center with my sister Megan. So that takes up a big part of my life too. And we started this business about 2 years ago. Well, we opened about 2 years ago. We started it before then. And I guess what led us to create My Wellness Center is our other sister, Morgan. So Morgan and Megan were twins, and Morgan got diagnosed with breast cancer. It was very aggressive. And so she was going through all her different treatments and stuff like that. And while she was doing that, some family friends of ours told us about this new technology that they had found and they were looking into called the EE systems, or the energy enhancement system technology. So we looked into it, and at that time, like, the closest one that we knew about was out, like, in the Denver, Colorado area. So my dad and her would fly out there in between her chemo rounds for her to sit in this energy room. We learned about the technology. We learned just, like, my sister, like, how she was feeling. Like, she could tell a difference when she went out there and sat in their energy room on the weeks in between her chemo sessions, and she compared them to, like, the weeks that she wasn't able to make it out there, and there was a big difference. Like, the weeks that she was going out there, she was feeling better quicker because chemo, like many people know, just wipes you completely out and you kind of have to like start over. And by the time you start feeling a little bit better, then you have to do it again. And so she noticed a difference just by sitting in the room and like sleeping or resting. And they would go out for a few hours at a time, or they would even spend the night out there. And so just a little preface to that is that my family's been in the insurance business basically my whole life. So that's really all I knew. Like I worked for our family's business. I worked for another crop insurance company at one point, but like my life revolved around insurance. And so this is a whole complete change of pace to what I have done for 25, 30 years. And so once we kind of started seeing the benefits just with Morgan, just with our sister, we're like, why can't we bring this technology closer to home? Because other people definitely need this. They just might not even know about it yet. So while she was going through chemo, we decided to start looking into where we should put a location. And I actually live in Iowa, but we opened a location in Lincoln and one in Kearney. So I run the Lincoln location, and my sister Megan runs the Kearney location. And basically wanted to open these centers for people who have tried everything else or are are just like at a loss of what to do, or for people who like are being proactive. 'Cause I actually just had a meeting with somebody and they asked what my type of customer my client is. And I said, well, I kind of have two. I have the people who've tried everything, but then I also have the people who are like very much proactive about their health and want to do all the things, to stay in good health. So that's why we decided to open my wellness center. And like I said, we opened about 2 years ago. September will be 2-year anniversary here in Lincoln,
Mm,
which is crazy.
that's awesome. I know I've been into my wellness center several times, and it is just so hard to explain. Just it's such the energy you just feel in there is unlike anything I've experienced. So you talked about how you got started, like what kind of drew you to kind of step out of the insurance world and into this kind of new space. So a lot of those experience, how did they change those experiences, the way that you think about health and healing, like maybe coming from this more corporate kind of world to dipping your toe into something that isn't necessarily like mainstream?
Yep. So I also want to note that we are not a medical facility and I'm not a doctor. This is a
Mhm.
type of place that can be used alongside anything that you're currently doing. And I guess the way that it has changed the way I think about it is I didn't really know about the holistic health and wellness area prior to Morgan going through cancer. My sister Morgan was very health conscious. She was a massage therapist. She actually knew a lot about this area. But when she started going through her cancer treatments, that's when we really learned for her what worked and what didn't work. And we could see like there's a time and place for every type of medicine, but there are
Mhm.
certain things that worked better for her and certain things that didn't work at all for her. So I guess just kind of going through the process of trying to fight cancer, which unfortunately she lost her battle to cancer in November. We opened in September and October, the two locations, and she passed away in November. But she was very much a part of helping us get this business started. She actually knew, I mean, she knew we named it after her. The MY is capitalized because it's Morgan Yardley for her. But just going through that whole process and then learning about this technology and learning that there are definitely different ways that people can, either treat something that is wrong with them or to be proactive about their health. There's multiple ways that people can go about doing that. So we're just kind of like another tool in somebody's toolbox, is kind of like what I like to say. So it can be used alongside anything they're currently doing, or it can be used as a standalone place where they can come and recharge their body.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm so sorry about your sister and you having to experience that. And I'm sure that that was very hard and challenging and nothing anybody wants to have to go through. So I'm very sorry that you guys went through
Thank you.
that. Yeah. Well, talk about the My Wellness Center. And I remember when you first shared with me that the NY was not my, but it was your sister's initials. I thought that is such a cool tribute to her. So I love that that is what you guys chose. But maybe tell us a little bit about My Wellness. So if somebody was walking in for the first time, they didn't really know what to expect, what would they experience?
My wellness center, we have this room, we call it our energy spa. So it sounds crazy. And I can explain it to people, and I do explain it to people all the time, but until you actually come experience it, it's hard to understand. But what this room is, so you walk in our front door, you have our front lobby and everything out there, and then you walk back into the back room, which is called our energy spa. It's a fairly large room. We have 16 recliners sitting around the outside. We do keep it dark because we want people to come back and sit and relax. The idea is to sleep if you can, because your body is designed to heal itself. We just often don't give it the chance or give it the opportunity or give it the right environment to do that. So the technology that we have in this room is called the Energy Enhancement System technology. It's EES or EE systems for short. And we have 24 screens. They basically look like computer screens and they're very colorful. They have different colors on them. They're moving at different speeds. And what it is doing is it's emitting light photons and energy from there. And it creates this energy vortex in the room. They're all calibrated to meet right in the center of the room. The chairs are all sitting around the outside of the room. So there's not a better or a worse spot to sit. Like anywhere in the room is great because it creates this energy vortex in the room. And that energy then is everywhere and anywhere in this room. So I have seen people walk into the like, I open the door and it's like they hit a wall because they can feel the energy. And then I have other people that can just walk right in the room. Like for me, I don't feel the energy like that right when I walk in the room. But when I sit down and relax, that's when I can really start feeling it. Now, every body that is walking through the door experiences things different. So, for instance, me, where I come in and sit and relax, I often can't stay awake back here. Like, it is such a relaxing place, and the energy in the room, it just makes me go into a deep sleep. Like, I track my sleep, and when I do overnights here, it is my best sleep, better than, like, at home in a bed.
Wow.
But the idea is for people to come sit and relax and let their body do what it's designed to do, and the energy in this room is creating that environment where your body is in like the good state. Like your body can be depleted or it can be, you have too much going on. But we want to create that environment where it's like relaxing and calm and you can come back and it recharges your body at the cellular level. So it gets kind of sciency and there's a lot more science behind it. But in like the easiest way to describe it is like we're creating an environment for a plant to survive. Like you want the plant to have sun and water and everything like that. Your body needs that too. Your body needs the nutrients and the sun and the water and the food and everything to survive. But this energy in this room can also enhance all that. So like I said, it helps recharge your body at the cellular level. Your body knows what it needs to do. And so it's always interesting talking to people after they come in, whether it's their first time or their fifth time or their 50th time, because they often experience different things. So if you have an injury or a past injury, even, you might feel like maybe like a tingling sensation or some kind of sensation in that area. Morgan could always feel it in her chest because she had breast cancer. So she could always feel it because that's where her body knew that that area needed to heal. I've had people come in with brain injuries, like a concussion, and they could feel it on the side of their head that they had hit. I've had people come in with strained like Achilles tendons, and they could feel it in that spot. I've had people that had cysts on their ovaries, and the ladies, she goes, "I swear I can feel my ovaries right now." Like it's crazy, and
Mm.
she had just been in the room for like 5 or 10 minutes.
Wow.
It's just again, your body is designed to heal itself. So this room just kind of gives it that extra boost.
That's so cool. I am currently right now, I just had rotator cuff surgery last Friday. So when this airs, it'll probably be at least a week out. But I am planning on coming in and spending some time at My Wellness
Yep.
and just sitting, and I'm looking forward to just kind of noticing what all happens. But it's such a cool thing because I think you're 100% right. Our bodies are meant to heal itself, and it's about finding the tools in the toolbox that assist it, that help it, that give it the
Mhm.
best possible environment in order to do that. So, So cool. I know you talked a little bit about this, but if you could like go a little bit more in depth about what kind of benefits do people tell you they experience after coming in and spending time in my wellness center?
So the benefits are very broad and range. I mean, it's kind of all over the board because again, every body that walks in the door is different from the next. So they might be coming in for the same reason, like sleeplessness, but they might experience different things back here. But I often get told that they sleep amazing that night. They're calmer, they're more relaxed, their anxiety's down. Seasonal depression, like we'll be going into the fall and winter months, like that's a big thing. Like I know it helps a lot with that with people that come in this door. People who have injuries, they often find that they recover faster for being in here. There's so many benefits. It helps with inflammation, it helps your body to detox. So we do recommend we always give everybody a free foot detox salt bath after their first session, and we share the recipe, but we also sell individual packets too because this helps your body detox, and if we don't give it an outlet to do that, you might experience like a headache or, might not feel great, which this room could like make you feel like that, but it's also your body needs that outlet. So by soaking your feet in this salt solution that we have,
Mm.
that is one way because your feet have large pores on them. So that will help the toxins come out. Like, we've had a lady who came in here and she came in here or comes in regularly, coming in for concussion, like, all the symptoms from having a concussion a whole year prior, and she found that if she did not do that foot detox, within, like, that same day, like, later that night, she would have profuse sweats the next day.
Mm.
Like, not like a normal, like, hot flash sweat, like, crazy sweats. But that was her body's way of releasing toxins because that was outlet that her body was providing. But then so she kinda did some tests, like, okay, if I do it same night or even the next morning, like within 24 hours, she didn't have those sweats. So I always really like talking to people afterwards, especially, even a few days later, like if or when they come in for their next session, because everybody's different, but it always is interesting to hear what this room has done for them. And I always tell people don't expect a miracle in 1 hour, but people do see changes in an hour. But oftentimes, whatever you're coming in for, it might be something where you come in once a week, or I mean, we have people who have monthly memberships that come in daily or every other day type thing. Can help with a pretty much everything and anything. But again, we're not a medical facility. So do keep that in mind. But the more time that you can spend in the energy spa, the more results you're gonna see.
Yeah. That's something we talk about on the podcast and I talk about in my coaching and membership is it's the small consistent changes that we make
Mhm.
that support our healing and our life the most. And so, yeah, just like if somebody's starts eating healthy, one meal, they're not going to feel some miracle, but doing that consistently. So I would imagine there's some similarities there. If you're able to come in on a regular basis, whether that's weekly or monthly or daily, that's when you're going to see that consistency and that
Yep,
benefit even grow.
yep.
Yeah.
And that's why we created our monthly membership. Kinda played around with different memberships over the last 2 years almost, and we kinda have decided that there are people that wanna come in more often, and so we wanted to make it, you know, like, make the price, at a point where they can afford it, but also that when they will come in, as often as they can. So, we actually have a monthly membership. It's unlimited hours during our normal business time, and so they can come in as often as they want. They can stay all day if they want. They can come in every day, and those are the people that we see often, like because 'cause they're seeing the benefits from being in here, and I love that our monthly membership allows them the opportunity to come in more often than just, like, once a month or once every 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, that's a great option. I think, I do a membership as well, and it that is the way that you can help people with that consistency is by offering
Yep.
those kinds of things. This would be a good time too to talk about what options there are, like how people can experience this from your My Wellness Center, whether they're in Lincoln or Kearney.
Yep, so we do accept walk-ins. People will call time like, "Oh, do I need to make an appointment or walk in?" I said, "You know what? You can walk in. We're open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Friday and 10 to 2 on Saturdays. We love when people just walk in off the street and they're like, oh, we heard about you here, or we saw, we were driving by or whatnot. So there is that. It's $60 an hour. Or you can do the monthly membership, which is unlimited during our business hours, and that's $99. So basically, if you're going to come twice a month, it's definitely cost,
Hmm.
it's more beneficial to go the unlimited membership route. And that's just for a normal session in the energy spa. So that's when you come back, it's quiet back here, you sit back and relax. We also do monthly sound baths. We will start those back up actually once school gets back in session because summer's crazy for everybody. But we do monthly, at least once a month, sound baths. We also do, and those are like outside our normal business hours, are usually Sunday afternoons. We also do different workshops, like a breath work workshop. I've done some different workshops with other people in the holistic health and wellness areas where we come in and people are sitting in this room, so they're experiencing, they're getting all the energy benefits, but they're also like here to learn about whatever the topics are that the presenters are talking about. We might get some yoga going in here in the near future. I'm
Oh,
excited about that. And it is also available to rent. People can do overnights. So if you want to come and sleep here, you can, it's a private overnight session. You get to come in for 12 hours solid and you get to spend the night. You can bring in your own air mattress or however you want to, whatever you want to sleep on, or you can sleep on our chairs too. And you can spend the night in here and get the benefits of being in this room for 12 solid hours. But we also like we'll rent out the room too. So if somebody wants to come in and do some kind of workshop on their own, or they want to do their own private sound bath, or I've had people talk to me about having like taekwondo in here. Like our room is it's a pretty good sized room. So it's a space that can be utilized for all sorts of things. And I have found like I've done yoga in here before and like yoga's amazing and the energy spa is amazing. But when you put them together and you do them together at the same time, it's just that much more. Same way with a sound bath. Like a sound bath is amazing if you've ever been to one because those sound frequencies are very healing, just like our light frequencies are. But when you combine them together and you have the sound bath in our energy spa, it's just like a double whammy. And it's just I mean, everybody just walks out of here just like, just lighter and more relaxed and just in a better mindset. Yeah, we have a variety of things we host here. We want to get a Saturday morning children's story time going. I
mm,
think once
mhm.
school gets started again, we kind of get back into a routine. We'll get that started because one of my employees writes children's books. So I'm like, well, that'll be perfect. Like she can read the children's books to the kids. The kids can sit in the middle of the room, get all the benefits of being in the room, and the parents can enjoy, and sit in the recliners and everybody can get the benefits of being in here, but the kids are getting a fun story in the also. So we're always looking at different ways to collaborate with people and to bring more things into the space. I think we're also going to do acupuncture day. Like I don't know if it'll be once a month, but where an acupuncturist will come in and actually do it in this room. So yeah, we got a lot of exciting things coming up, but yeah, it's been a fun 2 years.
That's awesome. And I know we've talked about doing yoga for me to come in and teach it yoga there.
Yep.
And hopefully after this rotator cuff, we can make that happen because I think that would be a cool experience. I personally have been to a couple sound baths at my wellness center, and it's just really, really cool. So having those events that kind of pair, so you're getting like multiple benefits within a session, it's great. So I know we talked about like kind of who my wellness center is for, and it sounds like really it can be for anybody. It's going to complement whatever else they're doing and support whatever they have going on. Would you agree with that? It's kind of just for anybody.
Yep, it can be from babies up until the elderly and even pregnant women. It's safe for them. So
Mm,
we've had kids come in like if one of my kids like stays home sick from school and I'm headed to work, I'm bringing them with me because they need to
mhm.
sit in this room. I think it was right before Christmas last year, one of my kids woke up and had a terribly sore throat. And so he came to work with me. And within a couple hours of taking a nap in here, he was like, I'm ready for lunch. I'm ready to go. I'm like, okay. Like it was just incredible where he felt terrible that morning and his throat was like you could see it. It was still red. We have people who bring their kids in for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's just to like if they're like a little under the weather, or like I know there's one family who came in like before a big vacation. They're going to go get on a cruise ship, but they wanted to like be proactive about like getting their immune system all like good to go for this trip. So they came in ahead of the trip. We have, like I said, all age groups, but I would say like our typical client is probably like 45 to 75 and mostly female, although we do have a number of men that come in here. A lot of spouses get drug along to like the sound baths and stuff like that. And I would say it is super, super beneficial for all ages, especially those that are very active. And that's why I like to have kids come in here because like my kids are into all the sports and they're go, go, go. Like, I'm actually bringing my twins, my youngest ones, in on Saturday with me to work because they haven't been here forever, and they just got done with baseball season, and so they're gonna come and sit and relax for 4 hours while I'm working just to get the benefits of being in this room. So, again, all ages, good for all ages.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I know you shared a couple stories throughout this interview, but any other stories that really just kind of stayed with you other than the things you've already talked about today?
Yep. I remember one of our first people called me. It was a lady, she's I'm guessing probably about 70. And she had chronic pain. She's like, "I have called or I have done everything." She's like, "I've had all these tests done and the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with me. Like they can't figure out where this pain is coming from, but I'm in constant pain and like excruciating pain." And she goes, they keep giving me more medication, but it's not helping. It might help for a little bit, but it's not helping her. It's not fixing her." And I said, "Okay." She lived like an hour from the Kearney location. And I said, "Can you get to the Kearney location?" She said, "Yeah, I can." So we always give everybody their first session free, their first 1 hour session.
Mhm.
So I said, "Why don't you come and try it out and see what happens?" So she came and sat for just 1 hour and relaxed for 1 hour in Kearney. And she said, when I talked to her like the next day, I think it was, she goes, "I went home and slept all night long," which she goes, normally doesn't happen because she's in so much pain. Woke up the next morning and I hadn't felt like that in 5 years. And that was from a 1 hour session. But
Wow.
again, I always say don't expect a miracle in 1 hour, but people
Mhm.
often do see something change in just an hour. She saw the benefit of being there for an hour. So she then came on a regular basis for quite a while. And she's like, "I'm down to taking maybe a couple Advil here and there, like not even like
Wow.
the prescription strength stuff." So that one really stuck with me. I've seen people, I mean, the lady that came in with she had post-traumatic concussion syndrome or something like that. It was like she'd been fighting brain fog, fatigue, memory loss, migraines for a year after hitting her head. And she came in here and noticed a change in her first couple sessions. And so she came in regularly also and just noticed, like, most of those symptoms cleared up. Not everybody's that is coming in has that, like, extreme of an experience. A lot of people are coming in just because, like, they don't feel good or they're super busy and, like, anxiety is getting the better of them. They know they need to, like, just relax. And so they come in here for an hour, and when you come back in here, like I said earlier, the room is dark. We want people to sit back and relax. You can bring your blanket in. I would come comfortable. You wanna be able to sit back in a chair, in a comfy chair and relax. Bring a blanket. We have blankets also if you forget one, but and try to sleep, try to rest, try to shut your mind off. Some people like to meditate, some people like to listen to music, but some people just completely zonk out. So I always ask, like, are you in a hurry to go anywhere? Because, if they fall asleep for an hour, if there's a little bit extra time, like they can stay back there for a little bit longer. But if they need to be out of here, I oftentimes have to come wake people up because their bodies needed that deep sleep and they are in it. And I remember one lady, she came in, it was, graduation last year, and, one of her kids was graduating. I don't know if it was, like, first or last or what, but she was just extremely super busy, like, getting ready for all that, and she's like, "I just need some time in here." But she had to leave right at, like, 5 o'clock, and she was out. Like, I felt so bad because I knew, like, her body needed it. I could just tell, like, by looking at her when she walked in that I'm like, "Oh, she needs this time back there, just the quiet and the to relax and take her mind off of things," and she was out, and I had to, like shake her awake, and I'm like, "I'm so sorry." She's like, "I know." She's like, "I need to," she had to get on to the next thing or whatever, but
Mhm.
I mean, there you can just tell when people are, like, need us when they walk in the door, and I feel very lucky to be able to offer a space like that for people to come and find that type of place where they can just relax and let go for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to spending some time there very soon and do the same. I guess, we talked a lot about like how this is for everybody. Is there anybody that it's not for? Is there anybody that this wouldn't be right for, or is it supportive for anything and anyone?
I mean, for the most part, we have not come across any type of person who it would not be good for. Now, our screens in here are colorful. I mean, you've seen them, they're moving. The idea is not to watch the screens. So I know there's been some questions on like if people are sensitive to like flashing lights, which they're not really flashing, they're just moving because the lights stay consistent. But if somebody has a high sensitivity to that, I would suggest then maybe wearing a sleep mask. So you're not even like, even if your eyes are open, you still have a sleep mask on. But otherwise, like, it can be for anybody and everybody.
Yeah. Like this podcast, it's the love your real life, especially like when things don't go as planned. And so that
Mhm,
may be someone's experiencing a divorce or infidelity or a job, you know, where they get let go from their job or something in their life has really shifted. And so I love that, like, there's something here that, I'm just imagining somebody going through a really hard time or a big change in their life and having just a place to kind of leave that at the door, come in,
mhm,
get a comfy recliner, get a blanket, and just be cared for, like with this
mhm.
energy, with the environment. And just picturing women walking in there, healing their mind, body, and spirit in this
Yep,
in this way. Yeah.
for
Um,
sure, yep.
and so I don't know if this feels right, but like if somebody can't come in to like let's say if somebody's listening and they don't live in Lincoln, they don't live in the Kearney area, they don't live somewhere close. Is there anything that could be supportive of their nervous system in these ways, like at home? Or are there any ideas or things that someone could kind of bring it to them if they can't get to a place?
Yep. So I literally just did a social media post about this. So there's a lot of things, and a lot of it is maybe things that you're currently doing, you're just not doing it intentionally. So if you can't come in here, but you know your nervous system is just like out of whack or not where it should be, or you're super anxious, like just sitting down and taking 5 minutes, doing some deep breathing techniques. You can YouTube them or you can look up or even meditation. Like there's a lot of ways to find those, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify, you can listen to things that just helps you just calm down. And deep breathing, doing some different deep breathing techniques definitely helps with that. Even just laying down and closing your eyes for a few minutes. If you only have 20 minutes, maybe see if you can take a 20-minute nap. Like I said, meditating, reading a book. I'm not one to read a book because I often just fall asleep. But maybe listening to a book, just something to take your mind off of whatever is bothering you or whatever is causing your anxiety or your nervous system to be elevated. Just slow down, taking a walk in nature or just walk outside, just getting some vitamin D. Grounding is another thing. My sister Morgan was big into that. Taking your shoes off and just going and standing in the grass or the dirt or on the sand or in the water, just feeling the earth beneath your feet. And that can also help regulate your nervous system. So yeah, those are all, like I said, some of those things people do on a daily basis, but if you're not being intentional and like shutting your mind off, like you can go for a 3-mile walk, but if your mind's just so in like racing of all the things you have to do, or you're on your phone while you're doing it, 'cause I know I do that sometimes, but if you can just like leave the technology at home and just go for a walk and clear your mind and just listen to nature and just relax while you're on your walk, like that can do a lot for your nervous system.
Yeah. I love that. I love those just ideas that, and some of those you could even pair with coming into my wellness center,
Oh,
like
for
I'm
sure.
thinking about when I come in, like I love listening to a meditation and just kind of pairing all that together to get kind of all those benefits there.
Yep.
Yeah. And so, okay. So, questions that I ask all my guests, like I said, it's the Love Your Real Life podcast. My business is Real Life Wellness. So, what is something supporting your real life right now?
Well, I was thinking about this, and I think joining this new community that we have created called the Health Span Collective, like, I am trying to build a business, and the business that I'm building is not, I mean, I'm an hour and 15 minutes away from home. So I make my time in Lincoln very intentional and connecting with like minded people who are business oriented. And we just started this group in May. It's kind of been a long time coming. Like you and I have talked about it, for a while now and stuff. And now we have this group of women. It happens to be women. It didn't intentionally set out for it to be just women, but it is a group of women that all have businesses in Lincoln in the health and wellness, holistic health and wellness area. And we're all trying to figure out life. We're all trying to figure out business and we're all trying to figure out everything that goes with those things, and now we get to do it together. So I'm super excited about this group that we created and like where it's going to go. Like I said, it's called Healthspan Collective, and we'll be on social media in the future, in the near future, but we're also have an event that we're working on for September 20th if you're in the Lincoln area. And I'm really excited about just sharing what we do at my wellness center with all of those ladies, but also then all the people that, at these events that we're going to do or the people that we invite into our spaces because people are looking for different ways to heal or better themselves. And sometimes it's hard to find, us or you or whatnot. So doing this collective with all these ladies, I think is gonna it's definitely helping me. No, I'm not in, like, this business by myself. Now I am in, my wellness center is my business, but I see all these other women that are, like, rocking their businesses, and it's like, we can all do this together.
Yeah. Yeah. So we started this group that Sarah's talking about. We meet weekly. And so we meet at my wellness center. So it's been great because we not only get to meet with these amazing women and talk about our businesses and get support in that way, but we're also getting the benefit of the my wellness center
Energies,
at the
yep,
same
the
time.
energy
So
spa.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's really cool. Yeah. I love that answer. Another question is, what is something that you're currently learning or noticing about yourself in this current season that you're in?
So, I feel like we're always a work in progress, like, me personally, I'm never at where I want to be, but I always wanna, like, work towards that goal. I just saw, something, I don't know if it was on TikTok or somewhere. It said, "Go 6 months out and write in your planner or on your calendar." I'm a electronic calendar now, but put 6 months out, like, celebration date. And then that is the date that you're going to celebrate what you have accomplished these next 6 months. And then you're going into this next 6 months with the mindset that you are going to accomplish what you're working on. And I'm like, "Oh, I love that." So, I need to get that date on my calendar for in what, December? Oh my gosh. No, that'll be January, won't it?
Oh, wow.
That's so
It will
crazy.
be.
This year is flying by. But yeah, I just feel like we're always a work in progress, whether it's our health or our business or our families or our, personal or professional. We're always a work in progress and there's always ways to better ourselves. I've come to find just with meeting different people in this business now, there's always more things that we can do or ways we can do things better and just like learning about those and
Yeah.
you know, bringing those practices into everyday life.
Yeah. It reminded me of this quote I just saw. I always screenshot if I'm on
Mhm.
Instagram or something and I see a quote that like really speaks to me, but it says, "Here's what's changed everything for me about self improvement. You don't need to fix yourself, you need to understand yourself. Fixing assumes something is broken. Understanding reveals why you operate the way you do. One creates shame, the other creates clarity." That brought to mind that same thing because I was like, that is because it can feel like, are we ever done fixing ourselves, quote unquote?
Yep.
But I think too, having that shift of like, it's not about fixing ourselves, it's about understanding ourselves more. Like, as we have all these experience and life happens, and how do we keep growing without it being like I have to fix myself.
Yep, for sure. I love that quote. You
Yeah.
have to send that to me.
Yeah. I will. I will definitely. So, our last official question is, what does loving your real life look like for you right now?
So I think just taking time to enjoy the here and now. Like I commute to work. I'm not in Lincoln every day, but I do come a number of times a week. But I also have 4 boys. I'm 40 something years old. What do you call a boyfriend at this age? But, Brad's in my
Right.
life now. Like, we're on the go all the time. And I know my kids are not going to stay this age for long. I already am going to have a junior, an eighth grader, and 2 fifth graders. And I can't even believe that. But I'm also trying to build a business and I'm also working on myself, and learning about myself. I'm trying to understand myself, I should say, because I'm not broken. I just, need to understand myself better. And, there's only 24 hours in a day and 7 days in a week. Like there's only so much time. But I also know that the busier we are, the faster time flies. And I want to enjoy the time. Like I want to be present when I'm, with certain people, and whether it's my family or my friends. I know there's a time and place for work and there's a time and place for, fun and things like that. But just being present, trying to enjoy the time that we have. Cause honestly, you never know how much time you have on this earth. I've seen it. I mean, everybody's seen it. My sister, she passed away at 38 years old, I think she was. And, it's crazy. That's way too young. So yeah, just enjoying the time that we have here with the time that we've been given, and being present and not always being online or always working because there's time and place for work, but there's also time and place where you need to like let that go for a little while and have time for yourself or your family too. So I think that's what you know I'm trying to embrace all of it, but I also know that you gotta be flexible, just be present, I guess. And,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited for my kids to, continue growing up and what their future looks like. But I like them at home and I like, I miss the little state, when they were younger and stuff, but every stage has been fun watching them grow into the humans that they are and that they're going to be, and being a good mom and a good partner and a good business owner and sister and daughter and all that stuff. So
Yeah. Well, it looks like you are doing a great job of all of those things, Sarah. We'll put all the information in the show notes of how to connect with you, your social media, membership, website, all those things to see like how to experience my wellness center. Like you said, everybody gets their first one for free to try
Yep,
it out.
yep.
Yeah, so that's amazing. That's amazing. So I'll put in the show notes about how to do that. But is there anything else you want to add to any of that on how to connect with you before we sign off?
We're online, but we're also always like, if people wanna just stop in and check out the space, like, we're always open to having conversations, seeing if this is the right place for them. I love talking to our clients and seeing, how this could help them and and then seeing the, benefits from being in here. So, yeah, don't be afraid to call or stop in anytime.
Okay. I'll put all that in the show notes. And also to say, you also have some products that you sell at your place that I buy from you. The elements, which I love that supporting a small business to get those instead of, a bigger place.
We have the Osea
Yes.
skincare
Yep.
line, yep. And then we also have some Revive essential oils and some
Mhm.
magnesium spray too. So yeah, we have quite a few retail products here in the store that people can always stop in and check out also.
Yeah. So awesome. So definitely stop in if you are in
Mhm.
the local area, whether it's here in Lincoln or in Kearney. And anyways, thank you so much for being here, Sarah. And I'll include the links and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me on here, Faith.
Thank you so much for listening to the Love Your Real Life podcast. I hope that today's episode was just what you needed. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you're looking for more support, check out the show notes for how to connect. Remember, no matter what your story holds, you are worthy of living a life that you love. Talk to you soon.